Following breaking news in Minneapolis, where a woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent. The federal government and local agents are offering up some very different views of what happened.
There have been hundreds of protesters, like I said, up to that 1,000 number, yelling at police. They've even burned an American flag, chanting, and they've ultimately gave the sentiment that they want ICE out of the city.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. Somebody is dead. That's on you. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people.
ICE doesn't belong here. We want them out. We want them to stop kidnapping our neighbors and our friends and our families.
President Trump responded to this incident saying it was, quote, horrible to watch. He said that this woman was clearly an agitator and says that he agrees with DHS that it was an act of self-defense.
The way that the media, by and large, has reported this story has been an absolute disgrace, and it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. What that headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile? What that headline leaves out is that that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job.
Renee Nicole Good was a devoted mother of 3 children. A 15-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son from her first marriage, and a young 6-year-old son she shared with her late husband, Timmy Ray Macklin Jr. Her second husband, Timmy, tragically passed away in 2023, leaving her to raise their youngest child. After Timmy's passing, Renee later married her partner, Becca. Current wife's name seen in social media and eyewitness video referring to her as my wife at the scene. And they moved together with their young son to Minneapolis. Renee was known by friends and loved ones as a compassionate, creative spirit, a poet, writer, and deeply caring parent who always stood up for what she believed in and supported marginalized communities. On a cold winter day in January 2026, while Renee was dropping her children off and then driving with her wife Becca, she encountered U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. What followed was a tragic confrontation that ended with Renee being shot and killed by an ICE agent. A moment that has since drawn national attention and sparked deep debate about law enforcement practices and civil rights. According to reports, she became involved in an argument with the agents over their work and the policies they enforce. During the confrontation, Renee panicked. Fearful, she attempted to drive away, and in the confusion, she did not see an officer in front of her vehicle. Tragically, she struck the officer. The officer suffered serious injuries, reportedly receiving around 36 stitches in his leg. In response, the officer discharged his weapon, fatally wounding Renee. Investigations into the incident are ongoing, and at this time, no definitive conclusions have been made regarding fault or responsibility. The incident has sparked a wide range of reactions. Supporters and many Democrats have described the shooting as unjust, calling for legal accountability and even political consequences for ICE. Protests and demonstrations are ongoing in her memory. On the other side, some Republicans and supporters of the officer describe the event as an act of self-defense.
Weaponized her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer
out in Minneapolis and beyond. White House border czar Tom Homan told CBS News he's waiting to
investigation play out and hold people accountable based on the investigation.
As state and local leaders amplify calls for ICE to leave Minneapolis, DHS says their operation will continue.
Law enforcement and the public are critical to prevent such tragedies. Renee's family, including her grieving partner and children, have expressed profound heartbreak. Her partner was reported to be inconsolable, and her mother remembered her as a loving, caring, and fearless woman who always stood up for those without a voice. As the investigation continues, it is important to let the legal system determine what happened. For now, we can honor Renee by remembering her life, her activism, and the love she gave to her family and community. We encourage viewers to share their thoughts respectfully, discuss the importance of justice, and remember that the full truth will emerge only after careful investigation. If you want to honor Renee, share this video and raise awareness about her life and the issues she cared deeply about, and do make sure to drop your views in the comment box. What makes this tragedy even more disturbing is not just the loss of Renee Nicole Good's life. It's how quickly politicians turned her death into a political weapon. Instead of mourning a mother, a partner, and a human being, her name became a talking point, a headline, a tool to score votes and push agendas. Some politicians rushed to label the incident before the investigation was complete. Others immediately defended power instead of questioning whether the system failed. On both sides, empathy came second, politics came first. This is not leadership. This is opportunism. When politicians argue on television panels, Renee's children are still growing up without their mother. While hashtags trend and speeches are made, a family is permanently broken. No press conference can undo that. Justice is not served by shouting louder than the truth. Accountability does not come from using grief as fuel for elections. Renee Good was not a political prop. She was a person. And until our leaders learn to treat human lives as more than ammunition in their endless power struggles, tragedies like this will continue to be exploited instead of prevented. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It keeps me motivated to make more videos like this.